So hi and welcome to another episode of Insights with me, Mark Anderson, Head of Education at NetSupport, and I'm delighted to have Jane Basnett here with me, sharing her insights on sharing the EdTech love. I mean, that's a fantastic title, but before we dive into that, Jane, could you share a little about who you are and what it is that you do, please?
Absolutely. I am Jane Basnett. I am Director of Digital Learning at Downe House School, which is an independent school, girls' independent school in Berkshire. I've been a teacher for 31 years, and yeah, for me it's all about education and how technology can drive that.
Brilliant stuff. Well, look, Insights is something where educators and other people come on and share insights which will be useful for our viewers and audience, and that is you. So, Jane, I want to talk about sharing the EdTech level, because it's such a fantastic concept, and you do it so much and so well, not only within the school, but equally outside in the wider world. You're an advocate, you're a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert, and you do all these different things beyond the school as well. But when it comes to staff in school, how do you actually, and you're so effervescent, right? You're like a champagne bottle just been opened all the time, right?
Thank you.
Okay, but how do you sustain that enthusiasm yourself, and how do you do that, importantly, with your colleagues? Because you've got a lot of colleagues you work with. You've got a big estate with lots of students and lots of colleagues. How do you maintain that enthusiasm?
You're absolutely right. I think I maintain that enthusiasm because I really believe in it, and I can really see how it impacts on the students, getting that engagement, and also, the data that we can get from all the tools that we use. So because I believe in it so much, I constantly share that with my colleagues, either through like whole staff inset or through one-on-one conversations, going to see them, helping them out, saying, you do it this way, have you ever considered doing it in this way or using this tool? And just bringing a can-do attitude to that, and letting people know that that this is not about some gimmick. This is actually really impactful stuff.
I absolutely love that. But the problem is sometimes, and I've experienced this myself in various roles, and I know you find it's an issue as well, right? Because it takes time, and teachers are time poor. So with so many other competing things like the curriculum itself, how do you find the time to fit all of this in?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's like you say, you just have to accept, and I think you've given me advice in the past about this, things can't happen straight away, and once you accept that, once you realise you're here for the long game and it's little incremental gains, that's what we're looking for. If I can get those incremental gains, if I can just get one person, even if it's just one person in a week, that's one more person who can also then spread the love. And I can bring them in as part of my team and get them to share the love, because I think that's also important, Mark, that it's not just my voice that's pushing this and driving this.
Absolutely. Marginal gains are something that I'm a huge fan of, right? So I'm just wondering, Jane, have you got any examples? And say communities of practice where you share those little wins as well. They sort of go viral in your school, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, even sometimes, like, if you think back to the pandemic, how did everyone sort of go, wow, at things like Windows, Shift and S? Right? Yeah. Again, not in and of itself going to change the world, but so useful. So have you got any examples of little marginal games that have been particularly popular in your school?
Well, sometimes, it's a very similar thing to the Windows Shift, the snipping tool and whatever else. I always remind colleagues just before report time, Windows logo key H, and that gets love every time.
What does that one do then?
Windows, it brings up the microphone. So you're no longer sitting there typing away. You can speak your reports and they're done, and fantastic
dictation.
tool. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Dictation. What did I say? Yeah, dictation.
Yeah, that's still
dictation.
the same thing. Brilliant.
That's the one. And just those marginal gains. What other ones can I think about? I think when I've done demonstrations to people, for example, I remember a while back doing Flip, showing them it might have been during lockdown, actually doing a demonstration using Flip. The amount, I couldn't believe that impact that had. You know, I had a couple of people who were like, who really caught on. They used it in their department, and then other people in their department saw this and thought, I want to have a go at this. I want to try this. And I can tell you the other thing that I do, which is possibly not answering your incremental gains thing, but it's about bringing people with me, I really like to give a big shout out to people in a public forum. So, you know, I've picked up a few badges and stickers today, and I would definitely be presenting those stickers in staff briefing. You know, here's our quizzes star of the week, baba sticker, whatever. That's how I bring them with me.
I mean, that definitely sounds like you're sharing the EdTech love there. You mentioned one of my favourite tools there actually for low stakes quizzing, quizzes, right? And so one of the things I love about that tool is not only is it focused around things we know about teaching and learning from cognitive science, but I love some of their AI features as well, right? Anything you could share to our audience here? It is insights. You've shared sort of 3 really nice little takeaways there. Flip, you know, control station, what have you.
Yeah.
What about quizzes? What if a viewer's thinking, you know, what's quizzes? Why is it brilliant? Any gains to be gained through quizzes?
Without doubt. Why do I just actually don't know where to start. It will save you time. Quizzes, for you as a teacher, will save you time. You can go at it in any way you want. You can say, okay, I want to make a quiz on Romeo and Juliet. Type in Romeo and Juliet, and there'll be 100,000 quizzes already made. You can look through those, you can adapt them, you can use the AI and say, make me more questions like this. Or you could just start with the words Romeo and Juliet and just see what it comes up with. It's incredible. I cannot recommend it enough.
Brilliant stuff. And you're a Microsoft school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, if you're a Microsoft school, you're thinking, well, that's great, but I mean, I've got to go to another platform stuff. How does it integrate with your setup?
Yeah. So now we can add classes through quizzes. You know, we just add our classes via, you know, that we've already set up in Teams. So it's very easy, and then they all join using their Microsoft credentials, and you know, 1, 2, 3, bish bash bosh, we're off.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I'm definitely feeling the EdTech love this afternoon, Jane. Hopefully you've been enjoying some of Jane's top tips and things in the session as well. Jane, you're a great sharer beyond the school. I mentioned it earlier as well on socials. Where can people find you if you want to get in touch or to sort of learn from you?
LinkedIn, best place to find me.
Okay, so look out for Jane Basnett on LinkedIn. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Insights from NetSupport.